Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to demonstrate how to incorporate Excel Geocoding Tool into your own workbook. So let's get started. I've got already Excel Geocoding Tool application opened, which is tailored for Bing, what can be seen here. This Excel tool is comprised of two sheets. This sheet contains all settings and instructions needed for using this application, and another sheet which shows the geocoding panel. You've got some few addresses put it in and all macros needed for this exercise. But this is not the thing which I want to deal with right now, because it's been already explained both on YouTube and on the web. My goal of this tutorial is to show how to deal with this application straight from your own workbook. In the following folder, I've got already this Excel Geocoding Tool file as well as my own project. So let me open this project right now. Where you can see a lot of calculations throughout this whole document. And what is the most curious here, all of these calculations are based on the location which been put here, the town, latitude and longitude. And now my goal is to run this location through the geocoding tool, make it dynamic. In order to do this, I need to do the first step, which is transfer the Visual Basic code from the Excel Geocoding tool to my own workbook. So in order to do this, I must have developer here. My ribbon hasn't been customized right now, so let me do this shortly. You are going File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and select Developer already here. Press OK, and here you go. You've got your developer already there, and jump straight to Visual Basic Console, where you will see some macros already been put into my own workbook. But the most important here for us is this window on your top left, where you've got the folder tree for your Excel document. Maybe you know that Excel file contains a lot of single files represented by separate sheets, Visual Basic macro files, and other XML files, which build up our entire workbook. In this event, important is to have all files opened, which we are going to involve in our operation, as well as have them fully expanded with their folder tree visible, like you've got right now. Maybe except of Microsoft Excel objects, because there are separate sheets which we can use also in XLX files. The most important stuff is based in other folders, which definitely includes stuff needed for Visual Basic macros. So now if we've got our files expanded, we can compare them and see which stuff is where. So in event of Excel Geocoding tool, you can see that we already got one module and one class module, which doesn't appear in my own Excel workbook. So at this stage, I have to transfer these Visual Basic modules to my own workbook. I can do this in two ways. I can do the right click and export these files. If I export the geocode file, I can place it in the same folder where the Excel Geocoding Tool is stored, because my own workbook is already in the same folder, so it's not a problem with finding the directory. Let me save this file, and let me repeat the process for another file. Now, if I already exported the files, I have to import them into my own workbook. So let me switch to my document. I can both do the right click and select the import file, from where I can pick up one of them and simply attach to my folder tree. What you can see now, the class modules emerge at the very bottom. I can also use file and import file. I can do this way, and I will import another file, another Visual Basic model to my workbook. So this is fairly basis for start doing anything regarding to Bing geocoding in this workbook, because without these macros transferred from Excel Geocoding Tool, we can basically do nothing. So this is very important. Before I jump to the next step, I want to show you another way to transfer Visual Basic files from Excel Geocoding Tool to your own workbook. Let me remove the existing imported files, because I don't want to mess around. However, you don't really need to remove them. They will be simply duplicated. I will remove it for you in order to keep the things simple. Another way is really quick, much quicker than the previous one. You just selecting the Visual Basic module and dragging it up to your workbook. Same with another file, and you can see how your folder tree has changed recently. But this process might be misleading when you've got a few files. You can simply make a mistake. So personally, I would advise to export and import Visual Basic codes via file. Now we've got the Visual Basic macros step sorted. Our next very important step is to copy all sheets from Excel Geocoding Tool to our workbook which we are working on. However, this is one very important thing which must be checked before. Namely, this is the name groups related to possible another tool which been implemented previously and possibly deleted. So we must go to the formulas, click the name manager, and what we are seeing now, it means that this file already contained Excel Geocoding Tool and it has been deleted. So we must be aware all name groups which remain without any reference. We must delete all of them and keep only these which are referred to somewhere. If we do this, then we can easily close and safely copy sheets from our geocoding file by selection all of them, right click, move or copy, selection create a copy here, and choosing the target workbook, optionally moving them to the end. We've already got these sheets copied here, but this is still something left to work with. We've got the buttons available in the geocode sheet, and these buttons might contain macros with their old path. As you can see here, this is a good example. The macro is referred still to its mother file, so we must validate the macros. So you've got geocode selected row here. You must select the macro with single string, which means that macro is based in our current worksheet. So now repeat the process for all files, for all macros down there. Making our file ready to go. So this is a good time to give it a go. First of all, we must clear the data entry, which happened rapidly. Now we can put some location. It can be city, it can be postcode, it can be full address, as stated in the main example. I've just put one location, and suddenly you've got 0% of address geocoded. Now, what is the most important here? You have to be connected with the internet. If you have no internet connection, then the tool won't work. So please remember about it. Now everything is fine. Click geocode selected rows, and you've got the coordinates provided, right? You can input as many locations as you want. Press geocode all rows and wait a while, and everything will come out. That's perfect. The tool is already working on your workbook. You don't need the separate file to launch the Bing Excel Geocoding Tool, which is great. Now let's see what can we do with our data, because as I told you at the very beginning, I need this data dynamic. I need this location geocoded instantly. So in this case, I must write down some very simple formula, which will based on links between the geocode sheet and the sheet where the location is based. So if I press Cambridge here with longitude and latitude available, input manually, then in my geocode sheet I must link the location cell, very first cell, with the name of the location on my first sheet, and do other way around for latitude and longitude. Consequently, in this case my longitude will be this cell, and latitude consequently this one. I've got already 0 because they haven't been calculated yet, but when I click somewhere in the selected row and geocode it, they should appear. There you go. The data has been provided. Once I go to my general sheet, then location has been georeferenced properly, has been geocoded properly. Yeah, so everything is fine, but it's still one thing is missing because it's still quite awkward. How about if I type, for example, Exeter here? I've got still coordinates for Cambridge, right? Because I must go again to geocode and calculate it from this sheet. I don't want that. I would rather to have an option to calculate location straight on my main sheet instead of the last one where the geocode is based. Yeah. So in this case, I need some Smallish tool which will do this job for me. I've got already code prepared because I don't want to waste the time. I will just import it. And this is my Smallish macro, which will allow me to geocode the location straight from my sheet where I certainly want. So this is how it looks like. I'm activating the geocode sheets and clearing all data just in case. If we've got some address here already, it will be cleared. It will be erased because we certainly need very first row where we are putting this link. This is the link for our location at the first general sheet where I want to have it calculated. And the last call is the function responsible for geocoding the rows. Last step is activating my sheet. So effectively we are calling two functions built in the Excel Geocoding Tool, which has been incorporated to my sheet, right? So what I need to do now is creating a button. So if I press the insert and any form control is fine. Now I must select the macro, which is geocoding location. I can obviously change this button, change its name. It will be geocode, right? Now, if I press it, the tool should be working. Let me go through them. If I change the location and put Dublin here, after pressing geocode, my address should be calculated, and here you go. Everything is fine, right? So the very last step which we can do is hiding the sheets. We don't want these sheets because they mess up our work stencil. So we can simply hide them. They won't appear anymore, but they will do their job. If I, for example, put another location here and press geocode, then as you can see, everything is fine. It comes with proper location. So this is one of the way how we can incorporate, how we can plot the Bing Excel Geocoding tool with our Excel project, which we are working on currently, without having another separate file. I hope that you will learn something from this video. Thank you for your attention, and I hope we will see in the next video. Obviously, you can try your own example, try to develop this tool further, putting more than one address for geocode.